Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Cher. I have a very exciting episode today because I just got in the brand new Makeup by Mario SurrealSkin Foundation. So we're going to be testing it out today. Hopefully I'm still early enough that this gives you a good review ahead of time because it just hit the market. This is apparently his first foundation, and according to all of his socials and all, it's like his baby and he has really poured his heart into it. So I really hope I can give a great review today so that I don't let him down. I have not checked out any other reviews so that I can completely be unbiased and really just give my full thoughts on how the foundation sits, all of the things that I look for in a foundation. So yeah, if that interests you, make sure you follow along. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well and turn your notifications on, because I tend to do a lot of videos like this where I'm doing beauty product reviews, and I'm definitely going to be testing out a lot of new releases upcoming here very soon. So you don't want to miss it if this is something that really interests you. So with that being said, we are going to get started. A couple things real first. Obviously, I have no makeup on. Well, I do have my brows done. That's about it. But clean face. Normally I do my eyes first before my foundation and all, but this is just going to be a skin test today. So I'm looking a little homely. I'm not usually this ugly, y'all. Second thing is I just got new blogging equipment. So if I'm looking in all directions and I don't know what I'm doing, I'm still testing this out. I've got this fancy, cool little gadget thing. So I'm kind of excited about it. This is my first time trying this setup. So let me know what you think. If it's any better, I don't know. I still don't know what I'm doing on it though. Anyway, okay, so here is the pretty fancy little bottle. So it is liquid foundation. It's supposed to be like a luminous finish, which I am a luminous girl. I'm not a matte because I'm 44 and I just need that extra moisture, guys. So I'm going to assume it's got a nice luminous finish like I like. And the claims that he makes are that it does not oxidize, which is very exciting. He also says it's supposed to be very breathable, lightweight, all those lovely qualities, and buildable for a custom finish. So hopefully we will see some of that. Now I've got the shade 8 in. So to start off with, it was pretty easy to do color matching. Well, hopefully I got the right shade. Does that look, I don't know. It might be a little yellowy. We'll see, or brownie on me. But basically, you know, I went online to pick out the shade and all, but it was pretty easy as far as knowing like what your skin tone and stuff was, because he did have it labeled by W, C, and N, which stands for cool, warm, and neutral. So if you know your skin tone, you should be able to do a pretty good job of matching. I'm usually a neutral skin tone for the most part. I can sometimes kind of go either way, but I usually stick with neutral. And I'm pretty light. I'm usually on the light to medium side. So I don't want like too light and pale. So I chose the 8 because it was, I think there was like a 5 neutral and then an 8 neutral. I went with the 8. I probably could have gone with the 5, but I was thinking I don't want to be too pale. So I thought this might be a good like kind of medium. It was getting towards the medium shades. And another thing on his website is he does kind of have like, are you lighter, are you medium, or are you darker? And so you can pick like which category and it will show you which shades sort of match up with those particular, you know, the range that you have. So I did find some ease in finding a skin tone, you know, figuring out what shade there was. So that part I will go ahead and give a good review on, but I guess we'll see if it's the right shade for me first before I really say that. I'm first going to start off with primer. So I guess the only other maybe negative is I did not see that he's come out with a primer. I did not see any face primer. If y'all know if he has one, let me know below. I don't believe that he does though. He had a complexion balm, which I think was like a, maybe it was like a tinted moisturizer, I'm thinking. I think he had like a setting powder. I don't remember. There was 2 little compact looking things and one was a balm, but none of those were primers that I know of. I really like it when I can use like the same brand's primer and foundation. I don't know why, I'm weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my own primer, and I'm not gonna stray. I have a bunch of new primers. Oh, Kitty says hi. He always joins my videos, or some cat always does. We're gonna see how this stabilizer does with my cat. No, it's still wiggly. Again, I'm using the stabilizer equipment, so I'm seeing how it's working out. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and use my own primer that I normally use. I'm not going to try any new primers today that I got because I want to keep it pretty consistent so that I can tell the difference in my skin, whether it's the foundation or whether it's the primer. You know what I mean? I normally use my Arbonne, so I'm just going to use the same thing so I can really judge well on how well that works. And I'm going to try to apply it the same way I normally would. I'm just going to dab a little bit around my face and go from there. I'm trying to decide if I should add like a full face of makeup afterwards to judge, because sometimes I can judge better by how I look with a finished look, you know what I mean? But we'll see. I don't know if I have the energy to put on full face makeup or not. Okay, I'm just gonna stiffle it. Now, I did watch him apply the foundation on people, and we have a fairly similar approach in how we apply our foundation. I'm trying to decide if I should apply it his way or my way to tell. I think I'm gonna still just apply it my way because it's just the best way for me to judge truly what I think of a foundation. Okay, so now we are gonna get started, and I'm gonna start off with, that's very pretty. I'm gonna just squirt some on my hand. Let's see, does it come out? Okay, there we go. Very nice. Just use my hand as like a palette. And I'm gonna go straight for like these spots first. And I'm gonna hope this is the right color. Yeah, it is going on well. It is pretty, I think it's pretty luminous. Ooh, I am not sure about the skin tone though, if I went with the right color. I think I'm gonna have to do a full face of makeup to tell. So here's one thing. As a makeup artist, and just so you know, I do professional makeup. I have an Instagram page. I have 2 different pages. I have like my blogging pages and everything, which is Shares Beauty, similar as to what is on here. And then I have my business page, both on Instagram and Facebook. Now I'm just kind of stippling around. And that is Soul Beauty and Images. And so I do makeup for local clients, and especially in like the North Florida region. One thing that you will notice as a makeup artist, I almost tell clients, like, and I try to, if I have to help color match for them, I might go with a different shade if I'm going to be doing their full-blown professional makeup versus if they're going to pick out their shade and do their makeup. The reason is because you can look really washed out just like this. Because most clients are not doing full glam and like this whole complete look. They're going to pop on like a little bit of foundation and or CC cream or something, and like mascara and lipstick, and walk out the door. Maybe some bronze. And it can look really washed out. So I'd probably almost go with a little darker shade for them if they're just going to do that. But I go with a little more of a match to their skin tone if I'm doing their full face, because all the bronze and we're going to have a lot of other heavy makeup on that is going, you know, it's not even going to look like the same color anymore. So, that's just a little like tip I've kind of noticed myself and tell people, because it's hard to judge your skin tone if you're only using the foundation itself. Now that I have it on, it's looking a little better. I do feel it's slightly yellow. So this is probably okay, I take it back what I said before about the review on like, oh, wonderful. So for ease of picking out your skin tone shades, I think it was easy as far as like figuring out what would be the right one for you. However, now as far as the range of shades, I was very impressed that he had plenty of like deep ranges, and you know, so I don't feel like it was like discriminating. I felt like there was a ton of shades. Apparently there's 30 shades. So I did feel like it was a good range. I would almost say though, there weren't a lot of cool tone shades, which is kind of odd for me. I actually have like a, you know, diverse clients, but I get a lot of very white, pale girls in my clientele. And maybe it's just something to do with like living in the South. There's a lot of like Anglo-Saxon white girls. That's all. So I'm used to doing a lot of cool tone shades, and I did not see a lot of cool tone shades. So I just really felt like, I did feel like the shades were very warm. I felt like everything was a little more on the yellowy, warmish side. So that would probably be the only like negative I have to say about that. All right, so let's talk about the finish here. I do like it. I feel like it is fairly luminous. I feel like there is a glow. I wouldn't say it's as much of a glow as I've seen on some, but it's somewhat luminous. Definitely skin-like. Am I seeing a lot coming through? Not a lot. I think it's got pretty good coverage. You know, my trouble areas tend to be right about here, where I have like age spots and everything. I'm not settling into the wrinkles too bad. So I think I do like it. I like how it sits. I like how it feels on my skin. Not bad. It's let's see how it does with building it up a little bit more, how it performs. And I just kind of stipple. Yeah, so you can customize it as he says. I don't feel like it is super oxidizing. Like, it's weird. I don't like it at first, and then it's like once it sits there for a minute, I do like it. I like how it like kind of sinks into the skin. You guys, I almost feel though, like I'm looking at it on my hand here, and it almost feels matte. I don't feel like it's quite as luminous as the foundation I usually use on clients. Like, it almost might be a little more on the matte side. But it's not too bad. It's still, you know, it's blendable, very blendable, definitely skin-like, but I do feel like it's slightly matte. I feel like it's a little more matte. So anyway, I'm going to I might go ahead and put on a full face of makeup just to kind of see what I think. And what I'm also going to do is do a wearable test for you. It is lunchtime right now, so unfortunately I'm probably not going to be able to do a full like 12-hour wear test for you, but we'll probably get in a good 7 hours wear and see how long it lasts, how it performs throughout the day, and I will check back in with you and let you know. Okay, I do want to show you guys. I went to start putting on makeup, and excuse my crazy look. I'm doing a makeup collab, so I don't normally wear makeup like this, but it's for an artistic look. I went to go start applying my bronze, or this is contour, excuse me, but I'm having a hard time building my contour on top of that foundation. I don't feel like it is, I don't know, it's like it's sticking to it. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like the foundation's starting to get almost chalky. So it's kind of interesting. It's like, I feel like it definitely looks luminous, but it's like it has properties of luminous. It has that like shine, like the luminous shine in it, but the texture feels more matte. And then it's making my my other makeup application on top of it feel very matte and harder to blend. So not crazy about that so far. I just wanted to update you as I started applying my makeup. Okay guys, I wanted to show you real quick. This is my full makeup look. I've got a lash popping. Um, so just to kind of see it with the full makeup on, and just don't look at my lashes. But I like it a lot better when I have a full makeup look. I don't feel like it's as yellowy now. So again, it really is like, how does it work with your full makeup look? Um, but sorry, these lashes. I don't know if you can tell, like, do you see how it's a little chalky? I feel chalkier than normal. And I kind of just did all my normal products that I would do. It did go pretty well with powder. Better, I think, than the contour did. My lashes are just, this is user error. I hate these lashes. They're just for a look that I'm doing right now and taking a picture and take them off. But anyway, I do feel like this foundation it has like luminous properties, but it's not like as moisturizing as I would think. What's interesting is, in between filming here, I did go and watch a couple other reviews. And what's funny is one of the reviews I saw thought it was too luminous and didn't work for as much for like oily skin. I feel like it's opposite, but I normally really need a very luminous finish because I'm older. But even on a lot of my clients who have oilier skin, like, you know, the foundation that I have really works, and, you know, we use powders to help set the rest of that stuff. But I don't know. I do feel it's slightly more chalky and matte than my other foundation I usually use for clients. So, but it's not bad. I really like it. I like how it feels. I like, some of the blending when you first put it on, but I don't necessarily like how the contour went over it. I just didn't feel like it smoothly guided over it as well. But on it doesn't look bad. So we're going to see though how it wears, and I'm going to check back in with you at the end of the day. Just wanted to kind of give you a feel for like how it looked all together, but I think the yellow balanced out. It is still slightly teeny bit more yellow than I normally wear, even though it's a neutral. I feel like this neutral might honestly be a little more on the warm side. So I don't know. All right, so I'll check back in with you later. Okay, guys, I'm checking back in for this wear test. I took the lashes off because, as y'all could see, they were popping off, and I just got my picture and took them off because they weren't on very well. But I feel like the base has not budged. So yeah, I feel like the skin has worn very well. It has definitely held up. Again, though, you can see that as powder has settled, there's just a lot of texture showing through, a lot more than I normally have. So I really, again, feel like this is more matte than it is being marketed. So it's not a bad, I don't think it's bad. I like it. I'm gonna not lie though and say I like my Arbonne better, what I put on my clients. It's just more luminous. This just has a slight like chalky matte finish to me, in my opinion. I think it's done great as far as wear goes, but it's just as some of that powder, like I said, has seeped through, it's really highlighting the texture for me. Which is just, that's the thing, is I can't do a lot of mattes at my age because it settles into all these lines and it shows a lot more texture. I need luminous, guys. To rehash again, just to give my final overall thoughts. So I think it is an easy shade selection process. The only negative on it is I'd say I think there's a lot of shades that are a lot more on the warm side. I'd like to see a few more cool tones in there. But overall, I think it was very easy. I think wear was really good. It's held up very well. I think it was pretty blendable. I think coverage is great. Yeah, I think it gives a really good coverage. I would say, I don't know, do you think it's a full coverage? I'd say maybe a slightly more than medium, but maybe not like absolute 100% full, but pretty up there. I think it gives a very good coverage. I didn't have to put a lot on to cover, and I was able to build it up well. Blendability, it was blendable going on, but again, I don't feel like some of my other makeup sat well on it and blended as well on top of it. I also put it on top of primer, so that might have been part of it too. And then the last is, I really feel like this is more matte and chalky than luminous, but it does have luminous properties. It has a glow to it, so maybe that's what they mean by luminous, but I do feel like it's a very textured matte finish. So those are my thoughts. Overall, pretty good, just probably not the absolute best I've ever tried. So I think, you know, I would recommend it for some. I think especially more oil prone skin tones or skin types. I don't know if I'd go for it for 40 plus like me, to be honest with you. But that's just my take. Let me know your thoughts if you have tried it. Also, if you are interested in other foundation reviews I've done, I've got one out there on Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I've also got one in a recent Sephora haul video where I was trying out Pat McGrath for the first time. So go check that one out. I'm going to put it on the end screen. And that wraps it up. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, especially if you want to see more beauty product reviews, new releases like this. Stick around here, and I'll catch you on the next one.